whether you can play the game left-handed or right-handed based on, you know, what hand you use.
Mm-hmm. Oh, really?
But I'm not 100% sure if that was true. I just heard that probably like a month or two ago.
That could be useful.
Well, yeah, I think they mainly thought about implementing that because just of the Wii Motion Plus thing, since it's a lot more sensitive. So.
And ultimately, the reason why I chose this game for this challenge is because Link is traditionally portrayed as left-handed.
That and left-handed challenge with any of the other games well, I don't know if it would be impossible, because... Actually, no, it wouldn't be impossible, because most of the other games are just controllers, so you have to use both hands.
Yeah, I'm thinking of the other Wii games I've done. I've done 3 other Wii games. Super Paper Mario, it wouldn't make sense because the way you hold the Wiimote.
Yeah, don't you hold it like sideways or something?
Yes, unless you're using Tippy, and even then you're just pointing at the screen.
Okay.
I cut out some unsuccessful fishing attempts.
I know you did Super Luigi Galaxy, so.
Yes, I did. That would have been difficult left-handed because, you know, when you get to the later stars, you need very precise control so that you don't fall off of somewhere.
Exactly. Yeah, your jumps and back, you know, like side jumps and backflips and everything need to be pretty precise.
The other game I've done for Wii is Metroid Prime 3. That would probably have been... I don't know, it might not have been that hard. The main thing that you... Oh wait, no, it might have been hard because you have to aim with the Wii remote.
I tried it one time, it was easy.
You can't win if you can't shoot enemies.
Yeah, I learned that.
So...
Did you learn the smell of a smelly fish?
Yes. And when you're a wolf, it's even smellier, probably.
I think if you leave the ring fish there long enough, it eventually works its way back into the water. Or so I've heard.
Well, that's fine because I didn't need to kill it.
Yeah, I know. Link gets free. Oh, the little animals of the world.
It's good to animals. Good boy.
Free the baboon from the parasite on its head.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out what to put out in my item slot instead of the fishing rod. And then it's like, whoops, I already had that equipped. Oh yeah, I'm trying to recover the hearts. Hearts are a major issue in this next dungeon.
Now, by this point in the game, have you gotten almost all of the golden bugs?
Yes, I have 23.
Okay. Yeah, I know that there was one that you have to get later on.
And I have 41 Poes.
Okay. Oh, that's pretty good.
And I also have some dirt trying to get the Poes between here and the next dungeon.
Oh, I hate getting the Poes in this area. Especially they blend in with this next thing that you're going to see.
That wasn't really my problem. My problem was that I couldn't tell what time of day it was.
Yes, that's also an issue. I always have problems seeing them, and I always have problems with what time of day it is.
So Ashay suggests that you do not go here without a plan. Follow her suggestion. The plan is because the thing is that if you come here without a plan, you will get lost. Like, even if you're not lost, the game will say you're lost and work you back to the beginning.
Yeah. You basically need to fish.
Yep. You need to follow your nose, like Toucan Sam.
Follow your nose with fruity taste that shows. In this case, the smelly fish that shows. Now, these are some pretty cool enemies. I always like these guys.
They're also...
annoying, but
yes,
they're pretty cool.
They are very annoying.
Look pretty devastating.
The most annoying thing about them is they respawn infinitely.
Yeah, they're definitely a step up from the Ocarina and Majora versions of these enemies.
And what am I doing here? I have no idea. I'm probably looking at my guide to see where the toe is. Yeah, so taking off sense vision in this area is generally a mistake. or going even just a smidgen off the path. And I get lost again. And I'm still trying to figure out. I mean, it looks like daytime, but then again...
Actually, to me, it looks a little bit like nighttime.
It does to me.
Well,
Of course, you can tell with the clouds.
thing is, it's kind of... Yeah, it is difficult to tell. And then I get myself frozen.
I was frozen today. I love that movie.
Heartless, I was explaining at the beginning of the session, I didn't intend to do this post-commentary. In fact, I still have the live commentary audio file, but there was just so much fail that the quality of my commentary just deteriorated.
Oh, it's just fine, I understand.
Yeah, same thing happens to me.
That's what happens when you play live. Sometimes you can't think of anything to say.
Exactly.
No, usually when I play live, until October or so, I had not posted any videos with post commentary, but there are a couple of factors that lead me to favor it. Number one, the possibility of having having guest commentators who aren't all in the same place.
That's true.
And here finally is one of these things. Another one of the things is a technical limitation of my computer or my capture card. The video, when I am on a Skype call, the video tends to skip, which means that there's going to be major desynchronization. Especially in areas where there are a lot of, like, I noticed it happens when there are bright flashes. Which is why it was so bad in Xenosaga, because every other attack you use is, make some explosion or some big, flash or something like that.
That could be a vein.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Capture cards.
Yeah, and even in this game isn't as bad, but it can still be. There's still can be some major skipping. And
Yeah, like, I remember my capture card hated this area just because of the, constant white blurriness and the constant wind blowing.
yeah.
It's now daytime.
Yeah, I skipped a while because I was waiting for daytime or nighttime. Wait, but no, that doesn't make sense because it's not nighttime anymore. I don't know what I was doing.
Yeah, I think it would be helpful if they would have had some kind of version of some song in this game.
Well, there is an item that substitutes for a certain song. They could have had an item that substitutes for another song.
Exactly.
By the way, you get that item way too late in the game.
So it's kind of pointless, I guess.
So I'm thinking there's something down here, maybe a chest, at least some rupees I'm hoping, but no. No chest. I do, however, find something useful. Something very useful, in fact.
On the rock. What could it be? Could it be a chest? Could it be a Poe?
Something far squishier.
Suspense.
Oh, it's rare shooting.
Yes, and often I have the problem of not being able to scoop it up in time. But this time I got it, so...
Oh, sweet.
And there's perhaps no dungeon that I needed, for which I would need it more than this dungeon.
Yeah, you take a lot of hits in this dungeon.
It's not just that. It's not just that. It's that enemies... Well, I will explain when we get in.
Okay.
Which will be in a few
That
minutes.
sounds good.
Which was actually quite a long time for me, for reasons that you will see, but will only be a few minutes for us right now.
Yay! Yeah, whenever I do this dungeon, I take like numerous hits, just because there's a lot of enemies that, if you're not prepared, they can get you a bad angle or something.
There is
like that.
one enemy in particular that I just want to... I will say which one it is when we get it, but there's one enemy in particular that I just want to...
There's two enemies I have in mind, so... I think I know which one you're talking about. And
Yes.
magically, we're back here by a golden tree.
Yeah, I had to show what this area looks like around sunset.
Yeah, this is a really cool area.
Because it's just really cool.
There's actually a lot of places in this game where if I'm just, editing or something, and there's a place that has good music or something, I'll just turn on the game and just look at
Look at this pretty.
like one place that comes to mind that I would like to go to is in Kingdom Hearts 2. It's that's area that's in Twilight Town where you go and see the sunset.
Oh, yeah.
The place where as Roxas you fight the bag monster thing.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean Helm?
Yeah, the hill. I always like chilling out there or listening to the Twilight Town music.
It's pretty cool.
Or looking at the sunset. Especially recently, I just noticed the
Not
clouds
sure.
in that game actually move.
Yeah, that scene reminds me of a series of books that I read. They're called the Mars Trilogy. It's about, and I think I must have thought I'd missed a Poe, which is why I'm going backwards.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm back towards the lake.
But it's a trilogy of books about human colonization of Mars. And in the third book, they've moved to other planets as well. And there's one, and on Mercury, Mercury, whichever side, because there's basically almost no atmosphere, whichever side of the planet is facing the sun is like burning hot, and whichever side is facing away from the sun is freezing cold. And here's the Poe I missed. So what they do in this book is there's a train. All of the human habitations are essentially on a train, on a railway that is always in the twilight area of the planet. So Twilight Town reminds me of that.
Oh, that's cool.
It is.
I guess that makes sense because it's like, half and half, so I guess it wouldn't be too bad.
Well, that's the only area where the temperature is tolerable.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So there is one more Poe between here and the next dungeon, and it's very close to the dungeon, so.
Although if they were to live on Mercury, finding out your birthday and holidays would be a nightmare to figure out. Because one day on Mercury equals 88 Earth days, I believe.
That's 1 year. A day may actually be longer, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Fact.
Yeah, like one Mercury year equals like 88 of our days.
Yes, that part is true. And then a day is...
Yeah, I had that backwards, I think.
So I'm figuring out where... Yeah, there's one place where there's a snowdrift that you need to bash your head into it.
And here it is.
And I got cutscene immunity from the ice keys.
Oh, I hate those ice keys.
And then I jump off a cliff. This is why I don't like the auto jump function. I want a manual jump.
True. I mean, the auto jump function is okay every once in a while, but just the ability just to jump on your own would be okay. I was supposed to say, I was trying to tell if that was a Keese or a Poe, but I think it was a Keese.
Yeah, I've gotten all the Poes in this area.
Yeah, because I saw something shiny in the, wolf vision. And I think it was just an ice Keese.
Things that I mistake for Poes. Ice keys, golden bugs. What else?
But at least the golden bugs are helpful unless you've already collected them.
Yeah, well, still they're helpful if you're low on hearts.
True. Yeah, that's right, they give out hearts.
And I had forgotten about this Howling Stone, but fortunately the scent leads you right to it.
I know that there's a lot of debate about this Howling Stone, what song it's supposed to be.
It's not supposed to be... I don't think it's supposed to be anything from a previous Zelda game. Although there are some Zelda games with songs that I haven't played, so maybe it is. Certainly not from Ocarina or Majora's Mask or The
No,
Wind Waker.
definitely not.
So I actually
the one
feel...
that I've heard the most that people say about this song, a lot of people say it's supposed to be the Ballad of the Gales from Wind Waker, but I don't hear it at all.
Nothing for me.
So I figured something out this time. I figured out that they actually tell you when you get the right notes by having the blue lines there.
Oh, that's one thing I never even noticed.
It's a good thing that I figured it out because I was failing. And then I realized, wait a minute, those blue lines get longer every time I, do it right, and they disappear every time I do it wrong. So I should just try to, howl there. I fell, 5-6 times now. Okay, that time I finally got it.
Success.
Victory!
I don't think that name would be pronounced Kohiro, though.
True.
I mean, in Japanese, a J is like J,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Shahiro.
Yeah, sure. Or
Like
something.
Kojiro, I think it would be. Anyway,
Now,
this is
go ahead.
this is the second to last Howling Stone in the game.
Yeah, I was gonna say now if it was like a, if the name was in Spanish, then it would be Kohiro, because
Yes.
I believe the J's are pronounced as H's, so.
Yes.
Kohiro.
Or if it were in German, it would be Kojiro.
Kohiro.
Actually, it would be more like Soyiro.
Zoriro.
Here's to you, Mystery Wolf Song. We have no idea what you are. But you sound cool.
I'm almost certain that the last one, the song is original.
The last one is an original composition for this game.
'Cause
But
it's
I've heard
called-
that every other game, or every other song in this game is from another Zelda, except I can't figure out this one.
Looky there, it's where I just was. I could go back there right now, but I'm not going to go back there yet because it's faster if I wait until I reach a certain spot here. And I'm thinking, finally, I'm done tracking that stupid scent.
Sanctuary.
My sanctuary, where fears and lies melt away.
Yeah, that's always how I used to feel about this place after that whole blizzard thing. It's like, finally, sanctuary, I'm safe. That's the freaking ice keys, but still.
And I did not see those vines until after I'd climbed a lot of the ladder.
Yeah, I usually miss those. And speak of the ice keys.
Speak of the ice keys. Never heard that expression before.
It's a new phrase by Lightning.
I'm glad that this sword is sturdy because I'm repeatedly bashing it against walls.
Yeah, at least it doesn't break like a certain sword from a certain ocarina at a time.
And this time I actually see the vines. I also see the ice keys, fortunately.
Smart move.
Thank you.
Is that
One of the
big
few in
for
this
person?
session.
Oh,
There are gigantic hands prints on the door.
Yes, those are large hands. And actually, when you see what made them, you wonder how it got through there.
Actually, I've never wondered that before, but now...
And
it's
I just
like,
wondered that right now, for the first time.
And we have these jerks again.
And this is why I waited to go to the graveyard, because if I went there, that would mean... Yeah, that would mean going all the way back up the mountain. But now, once I beat these dudes, once I get unfrozen, and beat these dudes, and of course I killed exactly 2 of them. Once I beat these...
Two ice keys.
Oh, my brother told me about a really funny video. There's it's the Count singing a song, but every time he says the word count, it's beeped out. so that it sounds like he's saying something worse.
You gotta appreciate the bleeps.
Yeah.
So the benefit of waiting until I kill these guys is that I can warp right back here once I'm done. There is only one more warp portal in the game. There are 15. I was thinking about them. I was counting 14 and wondering whether there was a 15th and thinking I'm going to have to change all of my video descriptions. But no, there is a 15th.
Okay. I think I know where that last one is. Yeah, I know exactly where that last
It's somewhere that I've been before, but I couldn't.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's somewhere after this dungeon.
Yes.
So.
So, yeah, I don't think I have to crawl back through the place
No,
again.
I believe he's right outside the little hole in the ground there. Or not in the ground.
Best place to find an undead guy? A graveyard.
That makes sense.
Of course.
I always find it cool how he takes the shape of a wolf in
Yes, it is.
You know, the human world, if we can call it that.
But it's funny how he doesn't respond to you if you too are a wolf.
That's true. Yeah, it's kind of funny. You would think that the golden wolf would give give you more skills as a wolf, and hero shape would give you more skills as a human, but oh well.
There's somebody in the background.
No, that's my cat.
Oh, I thought it was a cat.
Yeah, it sounded.
Sorry, it's not mine.
No, I like cats. Unfortunately, I'm allergic to them.
Ah, I see. Yeah, I have 3 cats, so. I love my kittens.
H.C. Bailey often talks about his cats and how they're doing naughty things while he's recording. He's like in the middle of a fight with the toughest boss in Final Fantasy VIII, and he's like, hang on, guys. He's like, I forget the names, but he's like, well, this cat is good, but this one's naughty. No, bad kitty. He actually says that.
Yeah, my one cat, actually, I always shut the door whenever I'm recording so I don't get too distracted, but my one cat, Lacey, actually snuck in during one of our Kingdom Hearts recordings, and she was all over the TV, she was on top of it, she was in front of it.
So, it says none would call the jump attack effective against multiple strikes. That's because it's called the jump attack, not effective against multiple strikes. I mean, multiple foes. I tried to make a joke, and I failed.
Joke fail.
Anyway, this move I find not that useful because by the time you release it, you've been hit, usually.
Yeah.
But I guess if you are in a good place and you know what you're doing, it can be very useful. You just hold A until your sword is shiny. Until your sword is shiny. And
Shiny.
until shine get.